Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is gonna be a different video. I'm on my bed today. Ooh, it's a little personal. This week was the 10-year anniversary of The Legend of Korra, which I cannot even believe that this show is 10 years old. It does not feel like it's that old. Definitely not. I remember I watched this show when I was, I guess, 14 years old and in my bedroom, just like today. I think it's crazy because I just don't, it doesn't feel like it's been that long. And so I wanted to reminisce a little bit. I love The Legend of Korra. It's one of my favorite shows of all time, obviously. People have asked me whether I prefer The Legend of Korra or The Last Airbender. And obviously, I kind of prefer The Last Airbender because that's the one I grew up on as a kid. That's the one, I remember watching The Day of Black Sun when that aired. Like, that was a huge thing. And there was all of the chibi shorts, like, as that aired. It was so amazing, like, to experience that as a child. But even up to the hype of Legend of Korra, I was so into Legend of Korra. Like I remember watching first two episodes, which we're gonna watch, and it was just like one of the most exciting times of my life. So I'm definitely gonna try to relive this by watching The Legend of Korra, and I have a bunch of snacks, and I'm gonna watch it, and we're gonna review it a little bit because I feel like The Legend of Korra doesn't get its due diligence as a really good show with, I mean, amazing animation and really interesting characters and all of the above, right? Okay, so without further ado, let's watch The Legend of Korra, Book 1, Chapter 1, Welcome to Republic City. You guys have no idea. This was so hype. This was so hype. Ice cream I'm eating. This is a good celebration of 10 years. And also a celebration of how big my channel's gotten. I'm almost to 300 subscribers, so that's huge. I mentioned this in one of my shorts that Senna is actually a waterbender, which is crazy because she doesn't seem like a waterbender at all. There's like no evidence in this show. I refuse to believe this is true. Of course, Korra's like the best avatar to ever exist as a child. Could have been all three elements. I think the thing that really sets this show apart from the first one is that Korra feels like a more developed avatar. I think you kind of get to see more of an avatar use like all of the elements and see kind of how that would be. We only really get to see Aang use a couple of elements later on.
But that's why I should start training with Tenzin immediately. He's Mr. Spiritual.
What's he?
Yes. If anyone can teach her what she needs to learn, it's Tenzin.
Tara's always the hype woman. Despite what people say, I really think that Korra is a very likable character, especially in the beginning of this season. And this show is just like so beautifully animated, and all the painting. I actually have an art book for this season. Actually, for every season. I'm kind of a nerd about Legend of Korra. I really do love this show.
What happened to Zuko's mom?
Well, Denora, it's an incredible tale.
It's an incredible tale that breaks the entire timeline of Zuko's heritage.
You're supposed to move here. You're supposed to teach me.
Tenzin moving to the South Pole was kind of a crappy idea anyway. When was Korra ever gonna leave the South Pole? They're gonna just keep her there forever, right? I think it shows a lot that definitely this is not what Aang had in mind for Korra, I don't think. I think Aang expected them to allow Korra to sort of explore and like have her own, I think Katara would know what Aang would want for Korra. The thing I want to know is was Aang anticipating that he was going to die soon, or was it kind of like a sudden thing? And of course, Republic City is so cool. It's like something we never seen in Avatar. The closest thing we ever saw was Ba Sing Se, which was really cool, but not at this caliber, right? I hope with Avatar Studios that we see stuff before Korra and before Aang, but I also hope they don't entirely write off things that could happen in the future, right? I think there's so much more to explore with Republic City and how the show ultimately ends. And now with like the Legend of Genji premiering and stuff, which is a fan-made project, I think that could be definitely something that they try to explore in the actual show.
Bending is the coolest thing in the world.
Bending is the coolest thing in the world. Such a hilarious scene. It's always one of my favorite scenes in this episode. Viper's actually a character we see later on in season 2, which is pretty cool. She should have just whipped out the I'm the Avatar card. I love how like different Korra is from Aang. We see Aang get arrested. Like he wouldn't resist arrest ever. So Lin is actually, if you guys have watched iCarly, she was the teacher, right? In iCarly, right? Now that I know that, I can never unhear her voice. Yeah, I definitely feel like they're very hard on Korra because, I mean, what do you expect? Her to just live in the South Pole forever? Like, I think obviously Avatar Aang would want Korra to be living in Republic City. I wonder what Korra would have been like if she was 12 years old. You can tell how her upbringing has like changed the way that she acts. And I love the Avatar as like a public figure. It's such a fun element that kind of gets rarely explored. And of course, Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko. All right, so I definitely love The Legend of Korra, and I definitely like this episode, but I do think that the next episode is a little bit better than this one. If you guys want me to review the rest of this show, please go ahead and leave a like and leave a subscription and comment and tell me what you guys would like. But yeah, I can't believe it's been 10 whole years since Legend of Korra came out. It was definitely fun reacting to it and reliving sort of the memory. And if you guys would like me to review other shows or other movies, you guys can just leave suggestions of what you'd like me to watch, and I'll see you guys all in my next video.